1969, college live-in project, CLIP. I took in the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college a course where you actually lived in a neighborhood, worked there, and studied in your apartments. And as part of the internship, I had to talk to the people in the neighborhood. And I met a man named Nate. Now, Nate was this elderly African-American man who was like a living, breathing history book. He knew so much. And he was the nicest guy. He had this Mr. Rogers sort of vibe. He even wore a cardigan sweater. And I went to interview him many times. And he's the one that taught me that Chicago had not always been segregated. This blew my mind. He told me at the early 1900s there really wasn't what you would call an all-white or all-black part of the city. But during that time there had been some racial tensions because unions, politicians, other people understood the benefit of that game, divide and conquer, such as bringing in black strikebreakers to break up the stockyard. It was my grandpa when he lost his job and black people took his job. And those tensions began to spill over into the 1919 race riots. Now, instead of going ahead and saying, okay, city leaders, we'll look at those people who are causing tension and divide and conquer. No, instead what they did is decided we'll have black and white areas of town and terrorize black people to get out of the areas they wanted to make white, for instance. I had never known any of this. So here's what Nate told me. He said that because the black districts were not large enough for all the people in it, the landlords could make a mint dividing and subdividing up those apartments, charging 3 and 4 times the rent they would usually get from one white family. They'd put a little light bulb in the attic. Oh, that's an apartment. String a couple electric lines down in the basement. That's an apartment, right? So Nate said, we tried to escape the overcrowding, the landlord's neglect. We moved across the color line, thought I was doing something good for my family. But I learned pretty soon that those realtors were just using us to turn that neighborhood. We stuck it out, though, Nate told me, even when whites threw burning rags into our house. But the worst was when the realtors started to buy up those houses. They bought in prostitutes, drugs, arson, anything they could to try to chase the white people out, because that was the name of the game. Buy low from the whites, sell high to the blacks. Still, we stuck it out. We complained to the politicians. We said, nice middle-class neighborhoods turning lower class. But the politicians undertake, the police undertake, they just look the other way.